Your take, Penduk?
Now, this is, when I love the Constitution, you know how sometimes our Constitution, people always say, oh man, our Constitution favors criminals over, us, the victims.
Oh, yeah.
And I think the one thing our Constitution, when it was drafted, was it was very mindful of our past. And in the past, black people were killed in jail,
For no reason.
without any consequences. Black people were hanged as well. After being maybe, if not killed, in cold blood, you're arrested and you're not given so many of your rights.
Yeah, they're taken away from you.
Were taken away from us. And then others ended up being hanged and lost their life. Yes, it's hanged, not hung.
Or pushed
hanged.
over.
Yeah, so our Constitution tries by all means for those mistakes not to be made again.
Yeah.
And in the past, you couldn't sing about what's happening in the country. You couldn't sing about politics. You couldn't sing about black struggles. You couldn't mention certain people's names. And that's why our Constitution really savors freedom of speech.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it would be very tricky to go down that path now, starting to censor in a apartheid-like government style of starting to censor free speech. And that's why there's all these rights enshrined in our Constitution. And like you said, they come with responsibilities.
Yeah.
So of course, when you've got a big platform, we also need to be very responsible to protect the freedoms that we have of speaking about anything and anyone. I mean, we can question how come the president had 100 million or millions in his couch without having to look over my shoulder, without having to sleep with one eye open. Something might happen to me, I may disappear. Remember, in Zim, you can't even do that.
Yeah.
I mean, in Zim, you can say stuff about the president. A lot of times we've heard things happen when you say that,
Even
so
journalists in Zim get arrested for
for just writing, for writing. There's this quote that say, hey, you have the oh man, I forgot. But it's funny. You have a right to say what you want, but also, I forgot, man. So for me, this is when I'm like, yeah, shout out to our Constitution. And when we go down that path now of regulating podcasts, now where does it end? You know what I mean? Where does it end? Then regulate blogs that no one can write, regulate online articles, regulate so many things.